Well, it's an A-list sunrise this morning. Not one, but two Oscar winners are with us.
Hollywood megastar Matt Damon and his new co-star Alicia Vikander have teamed up for the next instalment of the blockbuster Bourne franchise.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne is back for the first time in 9 years. It's Matt Damon's fourth time in his iconic role as the amnesiac assassin.
I volunteered because of a lie.
They said my father was killed by terrorists. He wasn't killed by terrorists, was he?
Matt's been playing Bourne since he was 29. Now he's 45. And for an actor who turns any project into box office gold, from Good Will Hunting to Ocean's 11 to last year's massive hit The Martian, Bourne is at the top of the list.
There's a demonstration in front of the Greek Parliament building. I think she'll use it as cover.
Hunting him this time is CIA agent Heather Lee, played by Alicia Vikander. The Swedish-born actress won an Oscar earlier this year for The Danish Girl.
Thank you so much, the Academy, for this incredible recognition.
Both stars are together in Australia to promote Jason Bourne. On Sunday, they presented the world-first screening of the film to a Sydney audience.
You guys really are the very first audience to see the movie.
Jason Bourne opens to the public on the 28th of July. And Matt Damon and Alicia Vikander are here with us on Sunrise. Welcome to the studio. Welcome inside.
Thank you
Still
so
going
much.
on the coffee?
We are, yeah.
we are.
This is strong stuff.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
You did well.
Excellent. Matt, you're known as one of Hollywood's nicest guys. I know we keep coming back to this, but you really are. We've seen how generous you are with the fans, how generous you are with the publicity. Not every Hollywood A-lister is like that. Are you comfortable with fame?
I don't know if anybody's comfortable with it. It's not a kind of a natural state to live in, you know. But I was kind of telling you before, moments like this, it's easier for me to kind of compartmentalize them, and they're few and far between. I know it feels like kind of crazy right now, but you know, when the publicity tour is over, I just go back to my life, and it's very, very normal. So this is more like a fever dream.
How important is Ben Affleck to keeping grounded? Two mates, you started together, you went to school together, you got your big break together.
He tweeted you yesterday.
Yeah, no, that's a big, that was a huge kind of grounding factor for both of us, I think. Yeah. It was like winning the lottery with your friend at the same time, and I think that's helped us kind of deal with some of the more surreal aspects.
So you keep each other grounded? If you get a big head, does he knock it in and vice versa?
Oh, yeah. No, we're pretty merciless with each other when it comes to that kind of stuff. Yeah, friends have to be.
Yeah, and I guess your wife and your kids, and we were talking the other day, you know, you still do, you drop the kids at ballet and soccer or whatever else the kids are doing around LA, and you just move around like a normal. Do you ever get hassled by the other parents or by people?
No, not at all. No, people are really, you know, I mean, especially LA. You know, you throw a rock and you'll hit a celebrity. So people are pretty nonplussed by the whole thing. And also when they see you, you know, you're out there raising your kids the way they are. You know, the people are just, you know, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Alicia, how did you come to get the role on Bourne?
Well, I remember I got a call and I was just like extremely excited because I had seen all the Bourne movies, and I remember that I had read somewhere that Paul said, no, this is the end and I'm probably not going to do another one, and with Matt, and then I found out that we're going to do a new one. So I was just really excited about that, and then I got to meet Paul Greengrass, the director, over lunch, and I was just so happy when he told me about the project and about the role, and how, you know, it's now moved 10 years ahead in time, and the world has changed a lot. So the character that I play in this film probably wouldn't even have existed, or that profession wouldn't have existed.
Well, you would have been in high school also.
Yeah. She was probably a very good hacker already then.
Because you're very manipulative in the movie, aren't you?
Oh, well, no, not really.
At the end.
Heather is a fascinating
That's good,
character.
that you have two
Don't give
different
away the
opinions.
end.
Oh, no, I'm not.
She's a brilliant cat, but it's that modern sort of feminine, the female role that is, you know, you're really in it, aren't you? Heather, well, Heather's really in it, isn't she?
Yeah, she almost has tunnel vision on
Yeah.
her mission.
Yes.
She has.
Love it. It's very good. Matt, you were 29 when you did the first Bond. Why am I saying Bond?
You're not the
We
only
talked about
person who
Bond.
does that.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a little bit James Bond-esque. You were 29 when you did the first one. This is the 5th movie now in the franchise. You're 45. You are incredibly buff in this movie. Really, I'm telling you, isn't he? How is it much?
Sickeningly buff.
Is it much hard? Do you find it's harder now to get in shape for these movies?
Oh God, it's brutal. It's brutal, and it's no way to live. So I'm saying to all my 45-year-old guys out there, don't worry about it. It's not worth it at all. Just keep eating the extra.
So what do you do? What's your routine?
It's just you basically deprive yourself of anything you really want to eat or drink, and go to the gym all day long every day.
Right.
And it's very different than being, you know, in my 20s, and you know, it's an up at dawn siege to get it done. But
Yep.
It gets harder as you get older.
gets harder as you get older.
Alicia, are you an action girl normally in real life? Is that what attracted you to the movie? Because
Oh, in this film, she kind of she has the power behind the scenes. She kind of has other people running for her.
Yeah.
In this film, but I
because you've done sort of chick arty-farty sort of
Arty-farty
films in the past.
yeah,
And
they were like,
and
finally
and
she's doing a proper film.
Let me tell you something.
Amish girl.
You're talking to
How did you ball?
You're talking to the Tomb Raider right now. Okay, this is Laura Croft. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
But that's cool. So you mix it up. You do an arty
Yeah.
party one, and then you do an action one.
Yeah,
that must
so
be
I'm
good.
actually preparing. Yeah, I'll probably do a bit more physical stunts in that film.
Right. Oh, okay.
Cool.
That's good.
Okay. Now, the newborn, Jason Bourne picks up with you, and you're sort of making a living out of fighting with your fists in you know, back alleys of Athens and stuff. And you refer to those scenes as a dance. Explain that to us.
No, just the shooting of them, like
Right.
because the people that you're working with, the person you're doing a movie fight with, it's much more like a dance because you have to both be doing exactly the same thing to make it look like a real fight. You know, whereas you know a real fight is the two people aren't doing the same thing; they're just going at each other. And you know, with this stuff, it's all, you know, in order to make the hits sell, I have to throw the punch in just the right place, and you have to move your head in just the right way, or it doesn't look
And,
good.
and what if it doesn't work?
Then you do another take.
No, you actually clock the guy?
Oh, I've
Knock
done
him
that.
out?
I mean, well, what they always do with me is they always put me with a really good fighter, you know, so anytime, you know, they're great stunt people or actual professional fighters, and so those guys are so just kind of perfect with their movements,
Right.
that I rarely get hit, but I'm constantly hitting these guys, like, and apologizing for it. And my standing deal with any of these guys is I will buy you a bottle of champagne for every time that I hit you. And they all think it's a really good deal because, you know, they've been hit for a lot less, so, you know.
And do they say, hit me again? That was
Yeah,
with me.
well-
You're apologising.
And make it
It's Friday
The first
afternoon,
movie-
please hit me.
The very first one was this guy named Nicky Node in The Bourne Identity. The first, we fought in this apartment, and I owed him a case of champagne at the end. And he was an ex-kickboxer, and he was like, "This is the greatest deal I've ever had in my life."
And when we walked out of the movie yesterday, Brett, our sports guy, said, it's the walk with intent. Everywhere Jason Bourne walks, do you obviously you do that deliberately, but do you work on that at home in the mirror? It's that you really walk with your
I know
shoulders.
exactly what
do you
mean.
know what
I actually
mean?
remember when because we hadn't done any scenes together, we'd just been offset, and then I came to Vegas, and I walked down to the casino, and it was actually, I was looking for the set. You normally see the cameras and things, and it was just, they had just hidden cameras, so they actually used a lot of actual people in the casino not knowing that we were filming. So I walked down and suddenly I see this man with a cap down and walking across, and I was, oh my God, it's Jason Bourne!
That actually is funny you guys say that, because the director of the first movie, Doug Liman, said, "I want the character to walk like a boxer." And I had never boxed in my life, and I said, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, and he said, "I don't know. There's just something about the way those guys walk. It's really efficient. It's balanced, and it's aggressive." And so I started boxing, and I've kept it up over the year. But it really did change that walk for that character. So that was where it came from. It was this idea that the director had, actually. So
Wow.
it had nothing to do with me. It was the director.
Whatever you're doing, it's working. Yeah.
I'm still walking 16 years later, so, you know.
How does the Bourne character rate against all your other characters? Is this one of your favourite movies?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just personally the impact that it had on my life and my career. I mean, it really changed everything for me. You know, before I did the first one of these, I'd done, you know, Good Will Hunting and The Talented Mr. Ripley and Dogma. Nobody thought of me as an action person, and so the fact that Doug took a chance on me and gave me this part, it really changed the trajectory of my career.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you were born to play it. I tell you what, you are Jason Bourne. We're very glad you're back.
until they revamp it with some young guy, yeah.
Oh,
Just keep doing the walk. You'll be right back.
you're not getting into that middle-aged sort of psych, are you, until they replace
No,
with a younger
but they
person?
do. That's what they do. I mean, look, here comes Tomb Raider. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Angie's younger than I am. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna happen, but you know, I'm at peace with it.
So it should be. All right, now, Matt, two of your biggest fans are with us this morning. They won a competition on our show to ask you a question on air and to meet you. They're with Sam Mack in the Plaza. Sam,
Hey,
who you got?
Yeah, we've got Stephanie, who's from Campbelltown, which is about 30-40 minutes out of the city, but we still put her up in a hotel for this experience. You're having the time of your life, aren't you? And you've got a question for Matt. Go for it, Stephanie.
Hi Matt, my question is, in an action film, have you ever been advised to use a stunt double? You decided against it and then regretted that decision?
Anytime, that's a great question, and I will say with some measure of pride that anytime I've been asked to use a stuntman, I absolutely use the stuntman. I'm like the opposite of Tom Cruise. Like, I had dinner with Tom Cruise a few years ago, and he explained how he ran outside that building in Dubai, you know, 100 and whatever stories, and I was
yes.
like, dude, you win. Like, I'm not doing that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No.
Well done, Stephanie. Well done on asking Matt a question that enabled him to drop into the conversation that he had dinner with Tom Cruise. Great question. Evelyn is over from Brisbane for the experience and very excited, loves Matt Damon, very excited about the movie. You've got a question as well. Go for it.
Hi, Matt. My question is, being a Hollywood star and the lifestyle that comes with it, how do you stay so grounded?
I have a team of people I pay to do that for me. I honestly, the children, I think, is a really good, and you know, those dynamics don't invade my most important relationships, and kids will humble you.
Yeah.
Now,
And you're surrounded by girls, aren't you?
I am, yeah, and they'll really humble you.
the ladies are very excited for the opportunity to be involved in what they're calling a Damon sandwich. They'd like to give you a dual hug at some point if we can make that happen. I'm just throwing it out there. They'd love a Damon sandwich. They're very excited to meet you today.
Fantastic.
All right, Sam.
Good
on you.
question. Yeah, good questions, ladies. Now, the new movie is epic. We've seen it, believe us. It is the biggest Bourne yet. Here is a taste of an epic action scene. This is set in Las Vegas, where Bourne is chasing another assassin into oncoming traffic. Take a look. It's insane. During that scene, I was like, oh, for God's sake. And all the boys are like, shh. How many days does it take to film something like that? How many real cars do you destroy?
We destroyed 170 cars in that
Oh,
sequence.
my
Wow.
God.
Yeah, and they told me that at the end. I was like, it was. But when they told me they wanted to do that, I genuinely didn't think they were going to be able to get it done. To get to, you know, out in front of the Bellagio, we have this massive pileup, and I just went, there's no way you're going to be able to shut down the Strip, and the producers just did an amazing job of getting that deal where we could do it. And so once we had that, we just went, we have to do something that's bigger than anything we've ever done.
I was watching the scene. I was on the top of the hotel, and it's so rare nowadays because you think a lot of these things are made with a lot of CGI and green screens, and I was just up there for 2 nights just enjoying watching these action sequences. It was pretty extraordinary.
It took about 5 weeks to film the whole sequence, like, you know, and we would get the Strip at around midnight on the weekdays. On the weekends, we couldn't use it, obviously, because it's so packed, but on the weekdays, around midnight, we'd move in, and they'd shut down, you know, a few of these blocks, and we'd just start racing cars all over the place.
It's actually amazing.
Until the sun came up, and then we'd have to get out of there.
I was in a cab one of the days, and the cab driver actually turned around. He was like, "Do you know that they're shooting a Bourne movie here?" I was like, "Really?" And they were like, "Well," so he had been down at the Strip and watched this sequence, so he told me all about it. I was very excited.
It is fabulous.
Did you say, yeah, I've seen the script?
No, I was like, "Tell me more."
You made my heart sing. You played in Sound of Music. What part did you play?
Oh, I did Louisa, the second
Louisa.
oldest.
It's Koshi's favourite movie ever.
But it's so weird because I know all the songs, but in Swedish.
Love it, love it. I judge people by their Sound of Music appreciation, so it's good.
Well, there you go. So you're top of the pop.
Yeah.
Just quickly, Matt, while we've got you here, you are very vocal about politics, which I love, and when we had a great conversation about this the other night at the premiere, you talked about Donald Trump and Brexit, you know, what's happening around the world. Is there any possibility that Trump could get in November? And what is going on in America at the moment, do you think?
Well, Nate Silver's website has it at 20% the chances, which is you know, frighteningly high as far as I'm concerned. I just don't feel like he has the temperament, not even close to the temperament necessary to have that amount of power. He's just too petty and thin-skinned, and so no, it's really, these are very, very scary times, and there's this kind of understandable retreat into nativism and isolationism, and people are upset and feeling that the economy's not working for them, but to protest by electing him, I think, would be, you know, a disaster. But that's, you know, that's my opinion. But I don't know. You know, Romney had about 62 million votes, I think, and lost in 2012. And I think Trump's got about 13 million in this primary. So I don't know where the other 50 million votes are going to come from. I mean, that's a lot of people pushing the self-destruct button.
Yes, but it's a worldwide. You know, we've just seen our election here, Brexit. You know, it's a worry.
It is. It's the most. It looks the most like the history that I've read about of any time that I've ever been alive for. You know, it looks like we're 80 years in the past, and these same feelings are resounding everywhere.
It is a bit scary. Thank you so much for spending so much time with us this morning.
Thank you so
Welcome. Thank you for getting up early.
Thanks for the car ride over here.
Thank you for the coffee.
The low-speed car chase and the latte.
Give your sister a wave. So good in Melbourne.
Australian family again.
Jason Bourne opens in cinemas on 28th of July. It is a great date night movie.
Yes. Girls, you'll love the car chase. Yeah, you will. Thank you again. We've just loved it.
Thank you, guys.